Emmanuel Community.
Welcome to Celebrate Aging. I'm Vicki Marthaler, your hostess today, and I am sitting in one of the wonderful courtyards of Emmanuel Community. Kind of relaxing this morning, enjoying the sunshine. It's wonderful, and I hope too that you are enjoying a good day as well. I'd like to talk to you a little bit today about some of the things that Emmanuel can offer you as a volunteer experience, as we love to have volunteers come and, number one, enjoy this facility as well as the wonderful residents here, and to just remind you that there's always a part of us that needs to reach out and touch another, and we have great opportunities here at Emmanuel for you to do that very thing. I was visiting with someone in the community just this last week, and they mentioned how there had been a gathering here at Emmanuel, and they gathered in the courtyard. And she said, I didn't even know Emmanuel had a courtyard. So as you can see, I'm sitting in front of one of these wonderful raised garden beds. We have several around here. In fact, this courtyard, we do have 3 of them. This courtyard has wonderful pathways of sidewalk that if you'd like to come and visit with a resident and maybe they're not so mobile anymore, but in a wheelchair, you can bring them out here and zip them around on the sidewalks to enjoy the flowers and just the beauty of the outdoor. Get that fresh air and that vitamin D from the sunshine. As a volunteer, we also have many bird feeders. So many of our residents, the families provide bird feeders, and they are outside of the different windows and they always need refilling. That's another wonderful opportunity as a volunteer. We also have different flower pots that need attention. Sometimes the residents can do it themselves, especially if they have a little help to get out here and explore and do that kind of work. We're always looking for someone to be that friend and be that help. Another thing we have out here in the courtyard is we have a wonderful canopied picnic area, a picnic shelter, and we have picnic tables. So if you'd like to invite some friends and have a little gathering here, we certainly can accommodate that. To coming out to this wonderful courtyard, we also have one of those doors where you just push and the door opens for you. So that makes it an easy coming and going. Mowing grass. We have to mow the grass. The sun shines and it rains and the grass grows. Certainly looking for volunteers who are familiar with a lawnmower and would like to help in that kind of way. And of course, if you have landscaping at home, you know too that there are weeds that will pop up in among the rocks and the different places, and always looking for someone who doesn't mind pulling a couple of weeds and making it look clean and neat. So those are just some of our outdoor opportunities. I would love to have you come and talk to our volunteer coordinator. Her name is Barb Schiller, and she would love to talk to you about the time that you have to come to Emmanuel and help in the great outdoors, whether it be assisting residents to spend some time in the sunshine or get that fresh walk with some fresh air, or whether it's to help with the landscaping and the flowers and the bird feeders and the lawn. We also would really appreciate anyone who has an expertise in shaping of shrubbery and keeping that in check. You know how it is when the shrubs start growing. Sometimes they get all out of control and taking over areas, and we need people who have that expertise on how do you cut back and shape the different shrubs so that they continue to grow well themselves. A lot of items over here at Emmanuel, so keep that in mind this summer as you are finding time to do that very thing. I'd also like to share with you a little bit of encouragement on why you would want to volunteer and spend time with people who live here at Emmanuel. Number one, the residents are great and they have a great sense of humor. I'm going to start off with a little story about humor, and then we're going to give you a couple examples of just the things that you can enjoy and maybe anticipate when you spend time as a volunteer. Well, this is a story. It comes from a book that I have on devotions, and the Proverbs, it says, is a cheerful heart is good medicine. We're all about cheerful hearts, and we certainly want that good medicine to be flowing freely. So this is a true story that someone shared. In the town where I grew up, there was a free municipal golf course. Free is a very enticing price for a 16-year-old. So when it came to selecting an activity for a first date with a girl from town, golf was the obvious choice. So we were having a great time until about the 5th hole. I hit a tee shot that landed right on the green, just a few feet from the cup. And as I pumped my fist in celebration, my weight shifted in such a way that the knee in my artificial leg gave out and I dropped to the ground. Okay, so now we have to imagine the 16-year-old falling flat on the ground, having this artificial leg that's kind of given way now and it's not doing its job. First date, also, you have to remember that when you're 16. Well, falling is always an awkward situation for me because no one knows what to do when a guy with one leg falls down, especially on a date. In this case, my date alternated between grave concern, "Are you okay?" and peals of laughter, which I must say it must have been easy to do that. Well, I stood up and immediately realized my problem had gone from bad to worse. The foot on my artificial leg had somehow turned around the wrong way. Okay, so now here's a guy with one leg getting up, and now his leg is facing backwards. So now what do we do on his first date? He says he walked over to a tree, and there were, of course, curious glances from the other golfers now about this time. So he walks over to a tree, and I started kicking it with my artificial foot, trying to straighten it out. The other golfers must have thought I was having the worst golf game of my life and having anger management issues. Well, during all of that chaos, I remember thinking, I have a choice. I can either feel sorry for myself or I can make the best of it. Well, I made the best of it. And incredibly as it may seem, he did get a second date. But these are the kind of unexpected things that can come your way when you're volunteering and spending time with our residents. I have to tell you, one time we were having communion, and I had a volunteer with me that was helping with the bread and the wine. And we were going to the people offering this as the pastor was attending as well. And we use bread with our communion, real bread, not the wafers, because for people who have dementia, which some of our residents do, when you put a wafer in your mouth and it tastes more like paper than bread, they will sometimes spit it out. So we've just taken to using bread. It happens to be a great choice. And so we were coming to a resident and offering the bread and the wine, and the one resident who has dementia received the bread and put it in her mouth, and as she was chewing it and swallowing it, she looked to her daughter, who was with her at the time, and said, "Well, they sure don't give you very much, do they?" Another one of those light moments. Well, this is what we are inviting you to come and share wonderful moments with our residents, wonderful moments here at Emmanuel in this place. We have volunteer opportunities for you. Give Barb Schiller a call. Emmanuel's number is 847-4486. There's a moment waiting for you here, and we'd love to talk to you about it. This is Vicki Marthaler, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the beauty of Emmanuel, and inviting you to do the same. Have a great day.